Hey guys, what's up, and I welcome you to a very new episode of the Did You Know series. This one is going to be featuring Thresh. I quickly want to mention that I will be at PAX East this weekend. I will probably be walking around with one of my Red Mercy shirts, so if you see me, definitely come up and say hi. This video did take longer to make than usual, so if you end up enjoying it, don't forget to hit the like button. But on to the abilities. Even though Thresh's auto attacks are technically ranged, he doesn't fire projectiles, and he is one of the few whose auto attacks will actually go right through Yasuo's wind wall. The souls from Thresh's passive are only visible to the enemies if they have vision of Thresh as the soul drops, so don't worry about dropped souls giving away your sneaky position within a brush. The enchanted armor bonus from the defense tree that increases the bonus armor by a percentage will not work with Thresh's passive, as the bonus armor gained from his passive is counted towards his base armor and is not counted as bonus armor. On average, there is about a 33% chance that a small minion will drop a soul, but the percentage is dynamic, meaning that based on how well or how poorly you are picking up your souls, this number will change in order to help you catch up to where you should be, or maybe slow you down just a bit. Did you know that every 255 souls that Thresh collects, his passive is replaced and it is called Soul Gluttony, and getting another soul, so making it 256 souls, will reset his regular passive from the start in terms of the counter. From this, did you know that the cap for Thresh's passive in terms of how many souls he can collect is 999,999, at which Thresh will have gained 749,999 armor and AP. A pretty sweet Easter egg is that if you're playing Thresh and you kill a Nunu, he will actually drop 2 souls for Thresh to collect, one from Nunu and one from his Yeti Willump. Unfortunately, this same thing does not work if you were to kill Sejuani. Thresh's Q is programmed as a stun, meaning tenacity can reduce the amount of time that the hook locks you down for. However, the hook itself will remain on the target no matter the tenacity. Even if Thresh were to hook a black shielded target, though the target will not get stunned, Thresh is still able to fly over to them, as the hook itself will remain on the target. His Q is one of the few spells in the game that can be cast while looking the complete opposite way, a good method to prevent your opponent from predicting who you're about to hook. It seems that Windwall is able to block the initial cast of Thresh's lantern. Brahm's shield is unable to do the same thing because the lantern itself is not actually damaging his shield. Another really cool thing about his lantern is the fact that it does act as terrain, and he can even block off certain areas of the map. As you can see, the Rek'Sai can no longer pass underneath the turret because my lantern is blocking off the passageway. Before, a very popular thing was for allies to use the summoner teleport on Thresh's lantern, but unfortunately it seems like that is no longer possible. Thresh's bonus damage from his E ability will go through Pantheon's block and Fiora's parry, but not through blind or Jax's dodge. Even though Thresh's auto attack is unique and a little weird, Runan's Hurricane will still work and treat it as an actual ranged auto attack. And the final thing, Thresh's Q, his E, and his ultimate can all be blocked by Spell Shield. Alright guys, let's go into some cool facts and lore about Thresh. The designer of Thresh was certainly T, who also made Darius, Zyra, Kalista, and 2 of my most favorite champions, Yasuo and Zed. The word thresh means to use a sickle to separate grain from wheat, and Thresh's hook looks very similar to a sickle, and the connection with the wheat and the grain could be the souls from the bodies that he separates and collects. In the year of 2013, Thresh was the first champion to be released, and his base HP originally was 2013 at level 18. From this, he was also the first champion to use the new pricing methods, costing 7,800 IP for the first week. His lantern could be a being in itself, as it even collects Thresh's soul when he dies. From this, let's check out his lore. Thresh is a sadistic spectral reaper who relishes tormenting the living and the dead. Once a jailer who mercilessly brutalized all under his charge, Thresh was hanged from his own chains by the prisoners he had tortured. With his vicious essence unbound, the chain warden roams Runeterra in search of prey. He derives twisted joy from slowly breaking the minds of his most defiant victims before trapping their souls within the sickly green light of his lantern. There might be a resemblance with Thresh's lore and the Mad Doctor from Asylum. Both love torturing their victims, both got killed as revenge, yet continue to do their acts after death. Thresh is known to have trapped the soul of Lucian's wife, Senna. This happened while Lucian and Senna were hunting Thresh down, but eventually got outsmarted, and Lucian is now Thresh's enemy. As stated earlier, Thresh's auto attacks are unique since they are ranged but with no projectiles. The other champions that have the same type of auto attacks are Kayle, Vel'Koz, and Azir. Did you know that Thresh has 3 different auto attack animations? At max range, he uses the sickle as a whip, mid-range he swings it at his target, and close range he hits directly with it. His dance refers to poi dancing and does several tricks from the dance as well. Also, if he throws out his lantern and then dances, he just swings around the lantern's hook rather than the lantern itself. He was the first champion who was able to affect his own ally's positioning thanks to his lantern. Thresh has one of the strongest slows in the game with his ultimate, along with Talon's E and Zillion's E, who recently got it as well, that being 99% slow. Thresh, along with Nasus, Sion, Veigar, and now Bard, can infinitely increase their stats through their own ability. Apparently, Thresh resembles one of the 7 deadly sins, being gluttony. Thresh and Draven both share a quote.
Come out and play.
Come out and play!
Thresh's quote,
I am the thing under the bed.
might either be a response to Cho'Gath's quote,
No, I do not live under a bed, fool!
or just simply referencing to the boogeyman. He also shares a quote with Evelynn, Ezreal, Irelia, and Annie.
This way.
This way.
This way!
This way.
This way!
Thresh also shares a quote with Caitlyn upon casting their ultimate.
Nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide.
Deep Sea Thresh probably refers to Davy Jones, but his recall animation has him stand in a pose very similar to Captain Morgan. Did you know that this skin also has a special random recall animation where instead of pulling out a chest, he pulls out a tire and looks disappointed? Championship Thresh was made to celebrate the Season 3 World Championship, and he shares this theme with Riven and Shyvana. Blood Moon Thresh shares this theme with Akali, Elise, Kalista, and Shen. This skin may also refer to Shinigami, spirits that invite people to their deaths. Thresh's face in the skin looks very similar to the masks used in Japanese no theaters. And since Thresh is a member of the Shadow Isles, Karthus, Mordekaiser, and Hecarim are all his allies. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know Thresh. If you did enjoy, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, check out the previous episodes of the Did You Know series and my other videos as well. But as usual, I hope you guys did enjoy this one, and I hope to see you for the next one. Peace!